What you should do, you should just stay the same, do whatever you're doing, and don't change, because the world needs to accept you as you are. And that's it. It's something I will never ever tell you. Why? Because that's the worst advice ever. The world does not owe you anything. People don't owe you anything. We are changing every single day. We are always trying to get better, always trying to improve ourselves, always. No person is the same person as he or she was from the day that they were born. So saying that, oh, don't change yourself, just accept yourself, is just not realistic. And this channel is all about realism. I do not like to sugarcoat things. Sugarcoating does not work. I'm not the nice guru that will tell you that everything will be okay. No, it will be okay when you make it okay. Because your life is literally in your hands and in your hands only. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody will save you. Not your mom, not your spouse, not your children. Nobody will. You want your life to change? You have to change. Hi guys, my name is Liz and welcome to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the fact if you don't like yourself, you have to create another version of yourself. Literally. We see celebrities talking about this a lot. You see Beyonce. Beyonce says whenever she goes on stage, she is not Beyonce. She is Sasha Fierce. A very good example of this as well is David Goggins. David Goggins is a Navy SEAL who he grew up and he got into poverty. He gained a lot of weight. He lost weight. He ran marathons. This man did incredible stuff. If you don't know him, please check him out. But basically, they all say create another version of yourself. And when I heard those stories, I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. And I started doing that as well. So you have me, right? Liz, she's just, herself. Liz is very lazy. Liz does not want to do anything. Like, honestly, if you ask me what the perfect thing for me would be if I do not want to be the higher version of myself, is literally go back home, go live with my mom, rely on her financially, just stay in my room, delete all my social media because I do not like the attention that comes with it. And yeah, just stay like that. Comfortable in my bed, in my room. But that will get me nowhere. So I created an alter ego. Somebody that is confident, somebody that uses her platform, somebody that goes after her goals. Somebody that wakes up in the morning and goes to the gym and does not care whether she wants to or whether she doesn't. She just has to get up and do it. Somebody with a very hard mindset. Somebody when she gets told that she's ugly, she doesn't look good. Because I get told things like that daily on my social media. Somebody that created tough skin because she has to take it all in order for her to achieve what she wants to achieve. So you don't like yourself? You create another version. Maybe even act. If you start acting like it, you'll become it. There is no other way. I don't understand why people say like, oh my God, this is like magic. It's not real. How is this magic? If you start doing what the higher version of yourself would do, obviously you'll become her. This is like very logical. You see, you have to think about it, right? How does the higher version of yourself look like? What is she wearing? Or what is he wearing? Who do they date? Where do they hang out? How do they spend their time? What's their career? Even down to the haircut. What's the haircut like? What does this person look like in your head? I cannot tell you that. You know what best you looks like. Maybe the best version of you has a little weight to lose. Maybe the best version of you has a little weight to gain. Maybe the best version of you has muscle to gain. You notice all these things for yourself. I cannot tell you this because I do not know what the highest version of yourself looks like. I only know what the highest version of myself looks like. So once you got that goal in mind, you know what the highest version of yourself looks like, you have to start acting towards it. So you have to start planning your goals. For example, I'm telling you, in my head, okay, the highest version of myself, I know her perfect weight. I have a very petite frame. Too skinny does not look good on me, because like I told you guys, I had an eating disorder. I was there. I looked sick. I looked like I was dying. Does not look good on me. A little weight, but like toned, looks the best on me. And I know that this I can achieve through gym and fitness and weightlifting. So every single day when I wake up and I do not want to go to the gym, but I think to myself, okay, what would the highest version of myself do right now? The highest version of myself gets out of bed, says, thank you, God, for waking me up today. Thank you for this blessed day. This day is going to be so good. I started with positive affirmations. I put my gym shoes on and I get off to the gym. That's what the highest version of myself does. And every single day, even if I like pick a meal, right? I love sugar. I love like sugary foods and stuff. But I always think, what would the highest version of myself do? Would she get this dessert? Because my issue is sugar causes breakouts with me and I get inflamed. I do not digest it well. It's very bad for me. I think I have an allergic reaction to sugar because I get like a rash in my face as well. So this is really not good for me. So I always think like, okay, what would the highest version of myself do? Because the highest version of myself has really nice skin. So the highest version would not take that dessert. She would take maybe caffeine instead, like something like a coffee or a tea that will suppress like, that suppresses my craving for sugar, right? So I do that instead because that's what the higher version of myself would do. Same thing with reading books. I cannot concentrate. I do not want to read books at all. But the highest version of myself, she needs to finish the books because she knows books are knowledge and knowledge is key. Knowledge will get you so far in life. I cannot explain this enough. The more you know, the better. The highest version of myself is also very confident. Liz is shy. She does not want to go out in public. She does not want to speak. She just wants to be ignored in her room, safe, where nobody can judge her, nobody can talk about her, nobody knows anything about her. But the highest version of myself has a platform and she wants to use that platform for the better. She wants to use that platform to help people. This is something I'm very passionate about. This is my passion. Because right now, I was doing this, giving advice, making videos, having my TikTok. I would never ever promote anything because I did not want my followers to buy something that I did not use myself. So I would get so many questions for brand deals and emails and offering me a lot of money, and I always declined because either I use it myself and I promote it, or I don't promote it at all and I do not care about the money. That is how passionate I am about this. I did this thing for a while for free. Right now I am making money off of this, not through brand deals and stuff, but I am. So the money now is just a bonus. But I was doing this for a year for free because I love it. I would wake up, sometimes at night I could not sleep because ideas would run through my head. Oh my God, okay, you have to film this video. This video is nice. I'm very creative. My mind's always running. So I love to wake up in the morning. I love like cultivating my new ideas, telling you guys my new ideas, talking to you guys. I love it. This is something I love. You have to find your own passion. See, I get messages. People ask me, Liz, what is something you would recommend that I have to do as a career choice? What is something, what is my passion and stuff? I cannot tell you what your passion is, babe. I can't at all. You know, even my sister, right, who is literally my own blood, she does not want what I want because this is not for her. She says, Liz, I'm so proud of you and congratulations for everything you've achieved, but I do not want what you want. I would never put myself in a position like that for people to judge me. And this is very hard. You have to create such tough skin to be a public figure or to be an influencer or even a celebrity. This is so hard because the tiniest things people notice about you and they start saying it, and you start looking yourself in the mirror differently. You can be the most confident person ever, but when so many people say it over and over again, you're like, oh my God, is this true? Do I really look like that? You know, It's almost like a body dysphoria you create in your head. It's insane. So you really have to get tough skin for that. And a lot of people do not want this. But see, I believe that God gives us passions because that's what we're supposed to do. God doesn't give you just like a talent or a passion just like that, you know? Why do you not want to go climb the Mount Everest, for example? Why is that not your passion? Because it was not for you. You know deep down inside what you were meant to do. And if you don't have a passion, or you think you don't, think about, what am I really good at? What would people even pay like $10 for me to do? Like, for example, me, I'm very good at giving advice. I have always been given advice since I was a child. I gave advice to my mom when I was 5 years old about how she should work her marriage out and stuff, what she should do. I have been doing this for a while, and I am good at this. And when I speak from the heart. And when my followers on Instagram ask me for advice, I give them advice for free. But you think if I would ask them like, okay, I'll give you advice, but send me $10, they would 100% give it. Because this is how good I am at it. Every single person is good at something. It might be like as small as cooking. Maybe you're a really good cook. Bake pies, start selling your pies, do things like that, bake other foods. Maybe you're very good at managing a team. Why don't you start a management company? Maybe you're very much into social media, but you don't want to be seen. Start a social media company where you make other people famous, but you're on the background, you know? These are like things you have to think about. Like, what am I really good at? What would people pay even $10 for? To get real honest with yourself. Like, really. I am so tired of these people always sugarcoating stuff. Always being like, oh no, always be kind to yourself. In my opinion, that's toxic. You cannot always be kind to yourself. Sometimes you need a reality check. For example, I suffered from a depression for 2 years severely. I would not leave my room. Like, not at all. My mom would come into my room in the morning to check if I was alive, if her daughter was breathing. And like, if I think about it right now, it's very hard for me to even talk about. But that was my reality. And I do not want like pity or something, you know. I got over it and I became this version of myself. So it's a blessing. But at that time, I remember I would always talk to my mom, and I would tell her, Mom, like, I have this desire to help people. And maybe it was because I felt so helpless myself that I wanted to help other people. And my mom was like, Liz, like, what are you talking about? Just get a 9 to 5, like a normal job. What are you talking about? YouTube, social media? Like, are you insane? And I didn't even have any social media back then, you know? And I was like, no, Mom, I want this. I need this. I want to help people. And she was like, she looked at me, she's like, Liz, you can't even help yourself. And that really hurt me. I remember I went up to my room and I started crying. I started bawling my eyes out. And I was like, why does she hate me? She's so mean to me and all these things. And then when I was done crying, the next morning I woke up and I was like, wow, my mom is right. How am I trying to help other people when I cannot even help myself? And then I remember I did my skincare. I put my, I changed my pajama again and I went back to sit on my bed. And I was like in my head just waiting until it got evening again, like every single day. I would just sit on my bed and wait until it got dark again. And then at that day in particular, I went to the mirror, I looked at myself and I was like, Liz, you're pathetic. You are so pathetic. Look at yourself. These are your youngest years. Every second you're getting older, and you have wasted the last 2 years in your room doing nothing. So then from that day on, I remember I made a plan. I was like, okay, we have to think, what would the better version of me do? So then I started like, okay, the better version of me would start maybe getting out of her room, you know, going outside, maybe get some fresh air. So I started doing that. I started going for walks every single day. I would make sure I would get my 10,000 steps in. I started eating healthier. I started like making myself oatmeal. I enjoyed doing that. Then I started listening to like podcasts, motivational things. You know, I used to listen to this before, but now I started hearing them. I started really like listening. And the most important thing I have ever done in my life is believe in the law of assumption and believe in God. Because I started to communicate with God. You know, I used to pray like, I'm Muslim, so I would pray 5 times a day and stuff. But I would pray just to pray and that's it, and then go to sleep and cry. But then I started praying, like talking. So every single time when I did my prayer, I would sit, and not every single time, because that's also like pushing it and that's too much. But like sometimes when I was really feeling down, I was like, look, I talked to God like he was my best friend. I was like, look, I don't feel good. And this is what I'm feeling right now. And I don't know why. And I know you're the only one that can help me. And you know what? I give it to you. You know what's best for me. Then show me the way. I asked him, show me the way. How do I do it? So when I started talking to him like that, I swear, every single thing I wanted to manifest started manifesting into my life. Because I started talking to God. See, you guys are expecting things to come into your life, but did you ask God? Did you ask the universe? Did you ask? If you don't believe in anything, just ask. You know? You cannot expect help if you don't ask for help. And you cannot expect good things to come if you don't even can accept help from people. You know, sometimes God puts people into our life to help us, to upgrade us. And if you're constantly dismissing people and being like, no, I got it on my own, how will you ever get there? And then you keep asking like, God, why don't you help me? God says, I send you this person, but you dismissed him or dismissed her completely. Let go of trying to control everything. Like, I was always trying to control every single thing in my life. I needed control. I was so afraid of not having control in my life. And this comes from early childhood trauma. Because like when I was in my younger years, I never had control. There was a parent that always had control over me, and I felt just like I was nothing, you know? And when I grew older, that gave me a sense of like, oh, okay, I need to control everybody around me and everything that happens into my life, because that's the only thing I have. But then I realized that when I started talking to God, and when I started seeing that whatever I ask him is happening, I started to trust him. So I let go of every desire I had. I asked once. I would ask once. I would say, this is what I want, and specific, you know. If it was money that I wanted, like for example, I needed to pay a fine, I specifically asked, I need money for this fine. This is how much I need. Please help me. And I would always also practice gratitude before I would say, thank you, God, for having a bed to sleep in. Thank you, God, for having food on the table. Thank you, God, for the smallest things I would say thank you for before I went to bed. And then I would talk to him. I would say like, hey, this was my day. This is what happened. Like even literally like he's my best friend. I would tell him everything. And then I would be like, okay, so right now I have this fine to pay. Can you make sure I have the money? And like really, sometimes I swear like out of nowhere I would get money, and this was like scary stuff, like scary. And then I knew, okay, whatever I ask him will happen. So I started to trust him. And now whatever happens, even if it's good or bad, I trust that it's for my better. When somebody leaves my life that I really wanted, I know that God knows he's not good for me. I know that he knows what's best for me. So I really do not stress anymore. I cannot tell you guys how much I trust him. Because I have seen every time I've asked, he has delivered. And he has not failed. And when I did not get what I wanted, I got something better instead. That's how much you have to trust. And you have to start assuming like the world is designed for you to succeed. That's how the highest version of you would think. So from now on, I want you to adopt this mindset of what would the highest version of myself do? You walk into a room, you have a meeting. You might think, oh no, I'm so nervous, I can't do this. Or you have a presentation for school, you think, oh no, I'm so nervous, I can't do this. what would the highest version of yourself do? Shoulders back, walk into the room and start talking. Talking like these people are all, you know what? Whenever you go somewhere, think that everybody's in love with you. Like, really, honestly, do that. That will make you more confident. You really have to think like, oh my God, these people are obsessed with me. You have to tell yourself affirmations like that. Before you have a big project, look into the mirror, say, I am powerful. I am amazing. I am gonna kill this today. Ask God, say, God, today, I want you to help me to talk better, to deliver, to have the best presentation ever. God, please stand by with me today. And I swear, when you start talking, you talk like you've never talked before. Because He literally helps. You ask for help, you'll receive help. See, recovery, getting the better version of yourself, becoming the highest version of yourself, it's not linear. It hurts. It takes accountability. Accountability leads to guilt because you have to see all the things you've done before. It takes going through the process of like looking at yourself differently, looking at yourself like, why did I act this way? Why did I do this? If you are trying to heal from trauma, it often means that you have to relive the, and you know what? You're gonna have so many bad days as well. But I still have bad days, you know? I have days where I wake up and I'm like, wow, I really don't like this. I really don't want this. But then, you know, when you change your mindset, you change your life. I have my bad day. I always think, what would the highest version of me think right now? You know, what would she do? And I know she thinks that, you know, she believes in God, she believes in the universe, she believes that everything's working out for her. So she knows that this bad day is actually a blessing. Because how can we appreciate the good days if we do not have bad days? We would not even know what good days were if there were no bad days, you know? So I'm telling you, when you are trying to recover from something, when you are trying to become a better person, you will have good and bad days. But it's the process that will make you fall in love with life. You know, oftentimes it's not the thing that we get. Like, for example, if you want an expensive watch, right? The watch itself does not fulfill you. But the process towards the watch, the working towards it, the anticipation, oh my God, I'm gonna get it tomorrow. That's what makes you happy. And then when you get it, you're like, oh wow, is this it? But you forget like the whole process before, that's the exciting part. So oftentimes when people try to lose weight and stuff, they're like, oh wow, okay, so I got here now. But like going to the gym, seeing every single day that scale go down and being like, oh wow, and looking better, feeling healthier, drinking a lot of water, your skin becoming plump, eating healthy, having energy, that's the process. That's the happiness. So you have to look at things like, wow, I fall in love with the process of getting things, not the thing itself, but the whole time that takes to get there. The bad days, the good days, everything. You take it in and you're like, wow, I love this process. Another thing is, do not tell me what you want or what you want to accomplish, what your ambitions are. I could not care less, to be honest with you. Show me what you've done. Show me what you're doing. Because, for example, when I started my whole social media thing and my stuff, my mom, she would be like, Liz, what are you doing? It's embarrassing. You're not accomplishing anything. I mean, I was gaining a little followers, but I wasn't going anywhere, you know? And now that I started making money off of this, my mom is one of my biggest supporters. Why? Because I showed her what I was capable of. The years before, I would always talk about it and be like, oh my God, Mom, I want this, I want this. She'd be like, yeah, whatever, Liz, whatever. You're a little dreamer, whatever, you know? But then now when I'm serious about this and she sees me signing contracts, she sees me physically doing this stuff, she's like, whoa, that's my daughter. And now she supports me. And the bigger I get, the more support I'll get from my family. It's just that way. So I have people sending me messages as well, like, yeah, Liz, my family doesn't support me. I don't know what to do. Now I don't want to do it. Hey, look. If you tell big dreams to small-minded people, they will never support you because they do not understand. They haven't done it themselves. Why do you think you can do it, you know? Big issue with a lot of people these days is you want to talk. You want to talk before it happened. Okay, so why are you putting this evil eye on yourself? Because I believe in evil eye. I really, really do. Every single time I told somebody something, a goal of mine or anything, before it actually happened, it did not work. Why? Because people, what people don't know, they cannot ruin. You guys have to become more private about your life. You're always putting everything on social media. See, I am on social media, but I'm private. I do not want to answer personal questions. Why? Because I do not want anybody knowing anything about my personal life because it's personal. I do not know who's watching me. I do not know who's preying on my downfall. People are watching me because they love me, but people are also watching me because they hate me, and I'm aware of that. And at the end of the day, evil eye does exist. I believe in it. So I will not talk about things that I want to accomplish before they're accomplished, I will show you guys that I'm accomplishing it and that I'm doing it. But I will not talk about it before it happened. And that's why a lot of reason why you guys are not succeeding is because you talk too much and you do less. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm telling you, you don't like yourself, you create another version. You start behaving like the best version of yourself. You start figuring out what the best version of yourself looks like, smells like, dressed like, what the career is, what the passion is, like anything. You know this for yourself. If you don't, you figure it out. I love you guys so much. Like, it's insane. Like, the way my social media is growing, and especially my YouTube, because I love YouTube, because it really gives me a connection with you guys. I just love this so much, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for you guys. And I swear, every night before I go to bed, I pray for you guys. I pray that everyone that's watching me, that wants to succeed, will succeed. And I know you guys will, but I cannot do this for you. The only thing I can do is provide you with content, and you guys have to actually do it. I cannot hold your hand and be like, come on, let's do it together. I can't. I wish I could, I can't. So get honest with yourself. Start becoming the higher version of yourself. Start acting like the higher version of yourself. And you're gonna make it. You really are. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching.